Welcome, educators and lifelong learners, to another enlightening journey on our channel. Today we are delving deep into the fascinating realm of educational psychology, unlocking the mysteries that shape effective teaching strategies. As we embark on this exploration, imagine having the keys to understanding not only how students learn, but also how to ignite a passion for learning within them. That's precisely what we will be uncovering today. Understanding educational psychology is paramount to educators as it provides invaluable insights into the intricacies of the learning processes and the factors that influence it. Educational psychology delves into the cognitive, emotional, and social dimensions of learning, offering educators a comprehensive toolkit to tailor their teaching methods effectively. By grasping psychological principles, educators can enhance teaching strategies, foster motivation, address individual needs, promote social and emotional learning, navigate technology integration, improve assessment practices, encourage reflective teaching. Let's define these points in some details. Knowing how students acquire, process, and retain information allows educators to adopt and optimize their teaching strategies. This includes addressing diverse learning styles, individual differences, and cognitive processes. Educational psychology explores motivational theories, empowering educators to create engaging and stimulating learning environments. Understanding what motivates students can lead to increased enthusiasm for learning and improved academic outcomes. By recognizing the impact of personality, intelligence, and emotional intelligence, educators can tailor their approaches to meet the individual needs of students. This personalized approach contributes to a more inclusive and supportive learning environment. Educational psychology sheds light on the importance of emotional intelligence and social interactions in the learning process. Educators equipped with this knowledge can nurture students' social and emotional well-being, contributing to holistic development. In the modern educational landscape, technology plays a crucial role. Educational psychology helps educators navigate the integration of digital tools, ensuring that technology aligns with sound psychological principles to enhance rather than hinder the learning experiences. Educational psychology informs educators about effective assessment practices, aligning evaluations with both psychological theories and educational philosophies. This leads to fair, constructive, and meaningful assessment that supports students' growth. Understanding educational psychology encourages educators to reflect on their teaching methods. This reflective practice promotes continuous improvement, adaptability, and innovation in pedagogical approaches. In essence, a grasp of educational psychology empowers educators to go beyond the surface of teaching. It equips them with the knowledge to connect with the students on a deeper level, fostering a positive and enriching educational experiences that goes beyond academic achievement to encompass holistic development. Now let's begin with a historical overview, tracing the roots of educational psychology and the visionaries who laid the groundwork for our understanding of human mind in the context of education. From the pioneers who shaped the field to the current landscape that continually adopts in the ever-changing educational environment, we will navigate the historical tapestry of educational psychology. The evolution of educational psychology is a fascinating journey that spans centuries, shaped by interplay of philosophical, psychological, and educational developments. Here is a brief overview. The roots of educational psychology can be traced back to ancient Greek philosophers like Plato and Aristotle, who pioneered the nature of learning in human development. During the Middle Ages, educational ideals were heavily influenced by religious institutions. The Renaissance witnessed a renewed interest in individualism and human potential, setting the stage for educational reform. Enlightenment thinkers like Jean Locke and Jean-Jacques Rousseau contributed to ideas on education and the nature of the learner. In the 19th century, the late 19th century marked the formal emergence of psychology as a scientific discipline. Pioneers like Wilhelm Wundt and William James laid the groundwork for understanding human behavior and cognition. The scientific approach gradually influenced educational thought. The early 20th century saw the rise of behaviorism, notably with John B. Watson and B.F. Skinner. Behaviorist principles focused on observable behaviors, influencing educational practices with an emphasis on stimulus-response relationships. The cognitive revolution shifted the focus to mental processes and internal cognitive structures. Scholars like Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky introduced theories emphasizing the role of cognitive development and social interaction in learning, reshaping educational psychology. Humanistic psychology, led by figures like Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers, emphasized individuals' potentials, self-actualization, and personal growth. These ideas found application in student-centered approaches and experiential learning. With the advent of technology, educational psychology embraced innovations such as computer-assisted learning, online education, and multimedia resources. Technology has expanded the possibilities for personalized learning and assessment. The 21st century has witnessed a growing emphasis on inclusive education, recognizing and encompassing and accommodating diverse learning needs. Additionally, the intersection of neuroscience and education, known as neuroeducation, has contributed insights into brain-based learning. Throughout its evolution, educational psychology has evolved from speculative philosophical inquiries into a dynamic interdisciplinary field grounded in empirical research. The continuous integration of psychological theories, educational practices, and technological advancements ensures that educational psychology remains a vital force in shaping effective teaching and learning strategies. Educational psychology, a field at the crossroads of philosophy, psychology, and education, has evolved significantly, marked by key milestones in the contribution of influential figures. Here, we highlight some of these pivotal moments and individuals who have shaped the landscape of educational psychology. Ancient Greek philosophers, Plato and Aristotle, laid foundational ideas about education, emphasizing the importance of individualized instructions and the role of experience in learning. An influential Enlightenment thinker, John Locke's ideas on tabula rasa, the blank slate, contributed to the understanding of the role of experience and environment in shaping individuals' development. Jean-Jacques Rousseau's work, particularly in Emile or on education, emphasized the natural development of the child and the importance of experiential learning over rote memorization. Often regarded as the father of psychology, Wilhelm Wundt established the first psychology laboratory, initiating the scientific study of mental processes and paving the way for the emergence of educational psychology. As an influential pragmatist philosopher, John Dewey's progressive ideas on education emphasized experiential learning, the integration of curriculum, and the importance of critical thinking. A key figure in behaviorism, Edward von Dyke's work laid the groundwork for understanding learning is a stimulus-response process and contributed to the development of educational psychology as a scientific discipline. A pioneer in developmental psychology, Jean Piaget's stages of cognitive development revolutionized how educators perceive the learning processes, emphasizing the importance of adapting instructions to a child's cognitive stages. Lev Vygotsky's sociocultural theory highlighted the role of social interaction and cultural context in cognitive development, influencing educational practices such as collaborative learning. As a leading behaviorist, B.F. Skinner's work on operant conditioning and reinforcement had a profound impact on educational practices, contributing to the development of behavioral modification techniques. Founders of humanistic psychology, Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers, emphasized the importance of individual growth, self-actualization, and student-centered approaches in education. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences expanded the understanding of human cognitive abilities, advocating for a broader range of educational approaches to accommodate diverse intelligences. In recent years, the integration of technology, neuroscientific insights, and a focus on inclusive education have marked key trends in educational psychology, shaping contemporary approaches to teaching and learning. These milestones and figures represent a rich tapestry of ideas and advancements that continue to shape the dynamic field of educational psychology. As educators and researchers build upon these foundations, the evolution of educational psychology remains an ongoing and collaborative journey toward a deeper understanding of the human mind in the context of learning. Next up, we explore the dominant psychological theories. We will be delving into behaviorism, cognitivism, and humanism in detail. Let's explain behavioral perspective first. Behaviorism is a psychological theory that focuses on observable behavior as a primary indicators of learning. It posits that behaviors can be systematically trained or modified through reinforcement and punishment, and learning occurs through stimulus-response association. In education, behaviorism emphasizes the importance of external factors in shaping and controlling student behavior. Let's explore some prominent principles of behavior. Stimulus-response association. Learning is the result of forming association between stimuli and responses. Teachers design lessons to present stimuli or instructional clues that evoke desired students' responses, reinforcing positive outcomes. Reinforcement. Behaviors followed by positive consequences or rewards are more likely to be repeated. Teachers use positive reinforcement strategies such as praise or rewards to strengthen desired behaviors in the classroom. Punishment. Behaviors followed by negative consequences or punishments are less likely to be repeated. Teachers may use mild consequences to discourage disruptive behaviors, aiming to reduce the likelihood of recurrence. Operant conditioning. Learning occurs through the association of behaviors with their consequences. Teachers structure classroom environments to encourage desired behaviors through a system of rewards and consequences. Behavioral modification. Systematic application of reinforcement and punishment to modify behavior. Teachers implement behavior modification plans, providing consistent consequences to shape and change student behavior. Now let's have a look at the application of behaviorism in modern classrooms. Teachers establish clear expectations and consequences, employing positive reinforcement for desired behaviors and appropriate consequences for undesired behaviors. Adaptive learning technologies and personalized educational plans are designed to reinforce individual student progress, taking the learning experience based on Schools implement positive behavioral intervention and supports frameworks to encourage positive behavior systematically, creating a culture of reinforcement for respectful, responsible, and self-conduct. Educational games and gamified elements leverage the principle of reinforcement, offering rewards and recognitions for achieving learning objectives. Teachers may establish behavior contracts with the students outlining specific behaviors, consequences, and rewards to encourage self-regulation and responsibility. Timely and specific feedback serves as a form of reinforcement, recognizing and reinforcing correct behaviors or academic achievements. Educational technology platforms use interactive and adaptive features, providing immediate feedback and reinforcement to students based on their responses. While behaviorism has evolved and integrated with other learning theories, its principles remain relevant in shaping classroom management strategies and designing effective instructional practices. In the modern classroom, behaviorism can coexist with approaches that consider cognitive and socio-emotional aspects, creating a balanced and comprehensive learning environment. Our next perspective in educational psychology is cognitivism. The cognitive perspective in education is a psychological approach that focuses on understanding the internal mental processes involved in learning, memory, problem solving, and decision making. It views learning as an active, constructive process where individuals process information, make connections, and build mental representations to comprehend and solve problems. Here are some of the basic principles of cognitive psychology. Information processing. Learning involves the acquisition, processing, storage, and retrieval of information. Teachers structure lessons to present information in manageable chunks, considering a students' cognitive load and promoting effective encoding and retrieval. Schema theory. Individuals organize and interpret new information based on pre-existing mental frameworks called schemas. Teachers activate and build upon students' existing knowledge, helping them construct meaningful correlation between new and prior learning. Metacognition. Awareness and regulation of one's own thought processes, thinking about thinking. Teachers foster metacognitive skills by encouraging reflection, goal setting, and self-assessment to enhance students' awareness of their learning strategies. Constructivism. Learners actively construct their own understanding and knowledge. Teachers design the inquiry-based activities, collaborative projects, and problem-solving tasks to engage students in constructing knowledge through exploration and critical thinking. Cognitive load theory. The amount of mental effort required for learning affects cognitive processes. Teachers simplify complex concepts, provide clear instructions, and use multimedia judiciously to manage cognitive load and optimize learning. After we have gone through the principles of cognitivism in education, let's delve into the application. Students engage in real-world problems, applying critical thinking and problem-solving skills to construct their understanding of content. Educational tools such as concept mapping software and visualization aids help students organize information spatially, facilitating the construction of mental models. Teachers use open-ended questions to prompt students' thinking, encouraging them to articulate their thought processes and engage in deeper cognitive processing. Pre-recorded lectures or materials are provided outside of class, allowing in-class time for collaborative activities, discussions, and application of knowledge. Techniques like mindfulness and reflection are integrated into the curriculum to enhance students' cognitive awareness, prompting focused attention and reduced cognitive dysfunction. Educational platforms use adaptive algorithms to personalize learning experiences, adjusting content and difficulty levels based on individual student performance and cognitive abilities. Collaborative activities and peer teaching provide opportunities for students to explain concepts to others, reinforcing their own understanding and promoting cognitive engagement. Formative assessment practices such as quizzes, self-assessment, and peer feedback are employed to gauge student understanding and guide further cognitive development. The cognitive perspective emphasizes the active role of learners in constructing knowledge and understanding. In the modern classroom, integrating cognitive principles enhances instructional strategies, supports individualized learning, and fosters a deeper, more meaningful engagement with educational content. Our last perspective in educational psychology is humanism. Let's understand its definition first. The humanistic perspective in education is a psychological approach that emphasizes the holistic development of individuals, focusing on their unique qualities, intrinsic motivation, and the fulfillment of personal potential. It values the learner's subjective experiences, self-determination, and the role of positive relationship in the learning process. Now let's look into the principle of humanistic approach in education. Self-actualization. Individuals have an innate drive to realize their full potential and become the best version of themselves. Teachers create environments that support students in exploring their interests, setting goals, and pursuing personal growth. Student-centered learning. Education should be tailored to the individual needs, interests, and experiences of the learners. Teachers facilitate student-oriented activities, projects, and discussions that allow learners to actively engage in the learning process. Positive regard. Creating a supportive and accepting environment that fosters a positive view of the students and values their unique qualities. Teachers demonstrate empathy, respect, and genuine interest in students' perspectives, creating a positive emotional climate. Holistic development. Education should address the cognitive, emotional, social, and physical dimensions of the individual. Teachers integrate activities that promote emotional intelligence, social skills, and physical well-being alongside academic learning. Intrinsic motivation. Genuine interest, autonomy, and personal satisfaction drive meaningful learning. Teachers encourage intrinsic motivation by connecting learning to students' interests, providing autonomy in decision-making, and recognizing individual achievements. In our final section, we delve into the application of the humanistic approach in education. Tailoring learning experiences based on individual students' needs, interests, and preferred learning styles, fostering a sense of autonomy and a personal connection to the material. Emphasizing collaborative projects where the students can explore topics of personal interest, encouraging creativity, critical thinking, and self-directed learning. Integrating mindfulness activities and practices that promote self-awareness, stress reduction, and emotional regulations, contributing to a positive and supportive learning environment. Providing opportunities for the students to make choices regarding assignments, projects, or topics, fostering a sense of ownership and empowerment. Identifying and building upon students' strengths rather than focusing solely on deficits, promoting a positive self-concept and confidence. Incorporating reflective practices and goal-setting activities to encourage students to assess their progress, identify areas for improvement, and set meaningful learning objectives. Establishing a sense of community within the classroom, emphasizing positive relationships and mutual respect among students and between students and teachers. Utilizing narrative assessments that go beyond grades to provide qualitative feedback on a student's progress, fostering a more comprehensive understanding of their development. The humanistic perspective places the individual at the center of the educational experiences, acknowledging the significance of personal growth, intrinsic motivation, and positive relationships. In the modern classroom, applying humanistic principles contributes to a learning environment that nurtures the whole person and fosters a lifelong love for learning. As we wrap up our exploration, let's summarize the key takeaways from our journey through the depths of educational psychology. Education is a dynamic and evolving field, and understanding its psychological underpinnings empowers us to adopt and innovate. But our journey doesn't stop here. I invite you to share your thoughts and insights into the comment box. What resonates with you? What would you like to explore further? Your engagement fuels the spirit of learning on this channel. Thank you for joining me on this odyssey through educational psychology. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more mind-blowing, mind-unlocking content. Until next time, keep exploring, keep unlocking minds.